Huh. What Alright, so you guys know what time it is. It's time to start doing a little bit more work on the Civic, of course, but you know, we can't seem to get a dry weekend here in Arizona, so as far as painting, really, we're kind of screwed, especially with what I had planned for this weekend. I really wanted to get the hatch clear coated, but that's not gonna happen. Alright, we're gonna be painting that. But only if you can tell me what that is. Come on, you gotta tell me what it's called. Ugh, I know you have definitely heard me tell you what this is called many times. I've already. Hey! No, look at. There might be a sticker on it. Yep. Ah, you saw the sticker, you little cheater. I see how it is. Damn it. There goes a sight from my soul. Thank you for tuning in. It pretty much rained all day yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday, today's Saturday. Yeah, I can't seem to get a dry weekend anymore. But yeah, it looks pretty good today. It rained a little bit this morning, and it looks like it's gonna stop pretty much for the rest of this evening. So we're gonna get outside and do some spraying because I have with me here my transmission. This here is an S80 out of a JDM GSR. It has the 4.4 final drive, and it does come with the factory LSD. This transmission was optional. It either had or did not have the LSD, and this one does have it. Now, I ran this this transmission in my car before. I love the gearing. The gearing is fine. The only problem I had was obviously on the highway, and that's one of the first things I did was had this rebuilt by a local guy out here that a lot of people went through, and I heard a lot of good things, and you know, he seemed to do pretty good work, so I hit him up and got it rebuilt. And you know, this was actually quite a long time ago, and I don't even remember exactly what it cost, but I do know that pretty much everything inside of this thing is like brand new. So I mean, if it was either in perfect condition, anything that showed any kind of signs of wear I had replaced, like the gears and stuff, and I had him put the 5th gear out of an LS transmission in here, so I'll have a little bit of a, you know, a lower RPM range whenever I'm on the freeway in 5th gear. But other than that, yeah, this has been a great transmission. It started to give me a little bit of problems there towards the end before I tore the car apart. 3rd gear was slightly grinding, and it turned out to actually be my clutch, I guess, but I had a problem where it got stuck in like I think it was 3rd gear actually, and it was just stuck, and I couldn't get it to pull out, and for whatever reason, I guess it was the actual clutch. I don't know. Like something broke inside, and it had my clutch pretty much to where if you engaged it, it wasn't actually engaging the clutch, and I would try to switch gears, and it was just grinding like, you know, and I thought it was the transmission, but it turned out to be the clutch. But anyhow, I went ahead and had it torn apart and inspected, and like I said, everything was all replaced, and we shouldn't have any problems from here on out. But it is ugly. It looks disgusting, and this has actually already been degreased and scrubbed, and I mean, this is what it looks like. But it has been sitting inside of my garage for quite some time, so it's gathered some dirt. And actually, one day I was doing an oil change, and I had my pan sitting down here, and I think it was think it was me. I accidentally stepped on it and it flipped it over and just coated the whole transmission in oil. So it does need to be cleaned again, to say the least. So that's what we're going to start off with doing. We're going to drench this thing with some super clean, scrub it, pressure wash it, use the compressor to blow it dry, and then from there I'll show you guys, but I'm actually going to remove all the hardware, all the bolts and stuff, and then from there we'll paint it. And yeah, so let's get on it. Alright guys, now what I'm using for cleaning here is obviously super clean degreaser. You guys know I use this on just about everything. Squirt bottle to put it in and spray whatever you're working on. Now these brush sets you get at Harbor Freight, and I don't remember exactly how much they cost, but I think they're like $2-3 or something like that. But these work freaking great, man. The little wire brushes and stuff. Now they don't last long. It doesn't take very long before these brushes are literally all bent to hell and they're basically facing backwards, but they do work great. All right, and I mean, for the price, I use this. I've probably bought 20 of these, and I use them constantly. Like, I have these brushes laying all over the place that come from this kit. I just grabbed a new one out of our pantry. Fries bags. I'm gonna be using fries bags, you know, the hole where like the axles and stuff plug in. This is I'm basically just gonna be shoving fries bags into anything that I don't want water to get into. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna saturate it with degreaser. I'm gonna scrub it with a variety of different brushes, you know, whatever it is that I feel is necessary to get into little areas, and the places that I don't want water to get into, I'm gonna cap it off with a fries bag. So let's get on it.
There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight. There goes a sight. There goes a sight from my soul. I think it's all angels just walk by. I think it's all angels just walk by. I think it's all angels just walk by. I think it's all angels just walk by.
Alright guys, we got the transmission all cleaned up. For the most part, got all the oil and grease and everything out. Where the hell are you going? Transmission's clean. I'm fucking filthy. I have grease all over me. My clothes are soaking wet. My shoes are wet. So I'm going to leave you guys with Braven for a second, because he's going to get the compressor going and he's going to get this thing dry, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So he's going to dry the transmission. I'm going to go clean up a little bit, and then we'll come back and start getting this thing ready to start painting it. So hell yeah. Now be careful though, because we have this set up on the horse and it's on top of the cart, so after we're done painting it, we're able to roll it in here without picking it up and messing the paint up. But it is a little bit on the sketchy side, so yeah, don't knock it down on top of you. But I'm gonna set you guys up on the tripod right here so you guys can keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't mess nothing up. Don't look at me like that.
There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight. There goes a sight.
Alright guys, here she is, all cleaned up and dry. I think we did a pretty good job. Definitely got all the oil and crap that would mess with the, all the stuff that would mess with the paint sticking to this is basically all off. But as you can see, it's still pretty ugly, and that is the reason why I want to paint it. Otherwise, I wouldn't paint it if it actually looked halfway decent. I mean, the aluminum is all stained, you know, from the years of abuse, and I mean, in order to really get this looking good, I'd imagine I'd have to just completely disassemble the casing and probably, you know, scuff the casing all down and then polish it and stuff. But yeah, this is basically as good as I'm gonna get it. And now from here, what I'm gonna do is get all this hardware. I want to remove all these because I'm not gonna just paint over them, and then probably take like some 80 grit and just kind of lightly give this thing a scuff as the best I can before we put a coat of primer on it. So let's get on it. Try not to knock the transmission off the horse here. Alright, got them all loose with the ratchet, and now I'm just going to run around and pull them all out with the drill, so it's a lot faster. Alright, there they all are. Still using a magnet tray, so I don't lose them. Believe me, I like to lose shit. Alright, got all those off. Now I want to take this little bracket off here. There's another bolt behind it, I'm just now seeing. And I believe those are 12s also. Yes, they are. Basically what I want to do here is all this hardware. Obviously I don't want to paint it with the transmission because to me that looks kind of half-assed. So I'm pulling it all off, and we're going to take it to a wire wheel and basically just try to shine them up, make them look, you know, basically try to make them look new. This little bracket as well. And I just think it's going to give it a cool look because the whole transmission is going to be all painted. I'll show you guys the color I'm painting it a little later. And then whenever I put all the bolts back on, it'll have that nice, you know, I don't even know how to explain it, but you guys know what I'm saying. Attention to detail, I guess. Alright, now we're pretty much ready to start sanding this, but I am going to go ahead and the fill plug and this drain plug, I'm going to go ahead and screw those back in for now. I didn't think about it before, but while sanding, you don't want any of that dust and everything to go down inside of there. Now, all of these holes here, I've looked at them. None of these actually go to the actual internal of the transmission. So if any dust or anything goes down inside of these, they're not going to actually get inside of the transmission. So I'm not worried about that. I will go ahead and put a, where those fries bags go? I think they're over there on top of the engine. I'll go ahead and put a fries bag back inside of here and plug off this where the reverse sensor goes. Just so no dust, you know, just to be safe. I definitely recommend you do that as well if you're painting your transmission, because you don't want any of this crap to get down inside of there and possibly mess things up and give you a bad day later on. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so we got that done. Now, what I'm going to be using to scuff this up and get it ready for primer to stick to it is, these are just 120 grit sandpaper, and they're the ones that have the adhesive on the back for sticking to the DA. I just kind of folded them over like this so you can use both sides of it. I have two of them here for a reason, because my son that's standing behind the camera right now in his nice clean clothes thinking he's done helping me is going to take one of them, and I'm going to take the other, and we're going to get this thing sanded. Here, Braven. Come on. Come. There you go. There you go. And I'm gonna switch the camera over to hyperlapse because I'm sure you guys don't want to stare at us sanding for 30 minutes.
There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight.
Alright guys, that's basically as good as we're gonna be able to get it. Now granted, being a transmission and it's got a lot of little fucking, you know, crevices and all this shit, it's really hard to kind of establish this entire thing being sanded. But what we're gonna end up doing is I do want to use a self-etching primer on this. Self-etching is a much better primer to use on like if it's bare metal, you know, because it's more than just a mechanical bond, it's also a chemical bond. It'll actually etch its way into the metal, whether it's steel or it's aluminum. It's a lot better to use whenever you're painting something like this. And I do not have any self-etching primer at this moment, and being Sunday, it's probably going to be rather difficult to find any. But I do have some at my shop, so because it's not going to take very much, and I'd hate to go and, you know, buy like a whole quart or a whole gallon even if this is basically all I'm really going to use it on. I'll probably end up spraying the block and the head as well once I get that all done. But for now, this is pretty much where I'm going to end this video because, yeah, I need to get that self-etching primer. So tomorrow I'll pick back up and we will get the transmission primered and we'll get the transmission painted. And I will also be going over cleaning up the hardware, all the hardware with you guys, and getting this stuff basically looking brand new. And then put the hardware back on, hopefully if it dries relatively quick. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this posted up tonight so that you guys can see what I have going on. Now tomorrow when I get off work is when I'm going to go ahead and start with the primer and the painting and everything like I said. Now I don't know if I'll necessarily get the video of painting and everything posted tomorrow being Monday. It may be Tuesday when you guys see that, because I'll probably come home tomorrow and get the transmission finished and I'll shoot all the footage for it and get the bolts all polished up and clean, looking good. And then maybe Tuesday when I get home, I'll put the bolts back in so that way the transmission's had some time to dry, and then I can finish off the video there and get it posted up for you guys Tuesday night. So yeah, keeping an eye out for that. I don't know where Braven's at right now. Braven! Hang on. Jesus. Yeah, if Braven's in the video, I like for him to be here whenever I close the video out. Braven! Oh, there he is. Closing the video out, dude. You helped today, so I figured you'd want to be here. But yeah, anyhow, thank you, Braven, for helping us get it all cleaned up and stuff. Obviously, this is going to be an on-running episode, so if you guys have any questions about what we've already done here or what we're going to be doing in the next part of this video, go ahead and put them down in the comment section below. Like always, if you like the video, like it, share it with your friends. I know if you're watching this stuff, then you're probably a gearhead or into Hondas or whatever it is. You probably have some friends who are as well, so that helps me out whenever you guys click that like button. It helps my videos to get out to more people. And of course, if your friends are into this stuff, share it with your friends. But I love you guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys who watch. And yeah, stay tuned for Tuesday whenever we finish this thing off. Peace.